Hey guys, how's it going? Lee here with So Happy Gaming with episode 3 of WoW Weekly. Today I'm going to be talking about the last of the heroic bosses that I'm covering, Hands and Franz, Blast Furnace and Blackhand. I've not actually done Iron Maidens because I'm never on during the raids they're actually killed, so I can't really go over them. And next week I want to talk about our first mythic boss. That's right, we're on to the good stuff now, boys and girls. I would also greatly appreciate any ideas for future WoW Weekly content in the comments below. So just throw some ideas at me about the sort of thing you want to see, and I'll see if I can be bothered. Right, so first up we have the twins, Hans and Franz. This is actually a really fun fight, probably one of the best in the raid. Generally the bosses are tanked together so they can be cleaved as they share a health pool, but occasionally one of them will jump off to the back of the room, start leaping around, giving players a people's elbow. It's fucking beautiful. A short way into the fight, the conveyor belts will start up, causing everyone to simultaneously shout down mumble, "Oh my god, what the fuck's going on?" This is where the fun begins. First off, you'll have big old slabs of metal coming down the belts. Just avoid them. It's quite easy. You can even stand between the belts to avoid them and avoid being moved at the same time. After these stop, we get the printing press start up. You'll get yellow boxes appear on the floor. Do not stand in these or you will be splattered. Sometimes towards the end of the fight, these will overlap very slightly, which is great fun. Rinse, repeat, and they're dead. Next up we have the Blast Furnace, which is arguably the hardest fight of the raid and definitely the most chaotic. You want to split the raid into two even groups, one going left and one going right. We take the foreman to the right hand side, where the aim in the first phase is to destroy the big old bellows on the side of the furnace. You'll have to deal with the ads, and the priority we follow is the Ogron, then the engineers and then the security guards. Players who get the extra bomb action bar should run to the bellows, place the bomb and try not to blow up anyone else, so make sure you stood alone. When the bellows are destroyed, you move to phase 2, where you have to deal with elementals who fix on random players, fire mages, invulnerable mages, and leftover ads from phase 1, as well as being blasted with fire by the boss who you can't actually kill yet. This phase is definitely the most difficult to execute. The idea is to kill the slag elementals on top of the primal elementalist to destroy their shield and burn them down before it regenerates. After each one of these, we then kill the fire mages because they're hurting everyone a lot. When all 4 primal elementalists are dead, the boss will break free of his bonds, and you'll finally be able to kill him. Start in one corner of the room, because he drops pools of molten piss on the floor that steadily grow, so you want to use as much of the room as possible, and cleave down any leftover slags while you're doing it. We usually save heroism for this phase, and you should get him down. And now, finally, we confront the warlord of the Black Rock Boundary, the biggest, most badass orc of the Iron Horde, Blackhand. This fight is all about your raiders not being completely fucking stupid. It's quite a quick fight as well, which is nice for an end boss. Phase 1 consists of him periodically throwing bombs on the floor. Don't stand in them. Caving the ceiling in and dropping planks on our heads. Don't stand in them. And marking random players for death. He will have to hide the debris that fell from the cave-in. If anyone gets in their way, they will instead take the attack and will need to be spam healed like mad or they will die. So don't stand in that. Oh, and the edges of the room are slowly heating up, reducing the amount of floor space available. At 70%, he'll drop an iron star on the floor and send us all down to phase 2, where we still get bombs and mark for death. This time the marked players will hide behind a tank. A real tank, not a player tank. These appear at certain intervals and will fixate on the closest player. That player will kite the tank over the bombs that Blackhand throws on the floor. The melee will have a special job in this phase, and that's to help soak the shattering smash, which will also send them flying into the rafters around the edge, hopefully, where we will kill ads who are shooting stuff at the raid. Then at 30%, phase 3 begins, which I don't actually have any footage of, so here's some footage of my character having a bit of a boogie. Turn down for what? Turn down for what? This phase involves heroism, some craters, more bombs, more marks, more knockbacks. Glorious! Thank you very much for watching, guys. I've been Lee with So Happy Gaming. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of WoW Weekly. Leave any suggestions in the comments below, and take care.